Hello there. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Can I jump in? Where shall I get, in the back or the front?
You can sit in the front.
Okay, I'm coming. This is Claire. She's one of the black cabbies that drives disabled and underprivileged children across London with the hope of making their lives that little bit easier or brighter. It's an initiative organised by the London Taxi Drivers Charity for Children who have been nominated for an award.
Static. I couldn't believe it. I never ever win anything, and so when we applied, when we entered the competition, I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere at all. So when we got the email saying, well done, you've been shortlisted, it was like, wow. Basically, we had to enter a short film, so it had to be under 5 minutes long, and it had to just be a film that sort of tells everyone about the charity or what you do. So we went to Paradise Park last year, which is one of our yearly outings that we do. We took, I think, about 300 children, and the film is literally just a montage of photographs, a little bit of interviews in the middle.
On one hand, London is frequently the home of the bigger national charities, so you'd know those household names. But we've got a number of really interesting stories at a community level in London, that sense of London as a series of communities. Perhaps the most obvious London story is the London taxi drivers when they take the kids out for their day of charity. Now that's just an amazing story. You've got this London icon, two London icons actually, the taxis and the taxi drivers. And this film celebrating this part of London culture. It's a wonderful moment. We exist to help charities who are telling amazing stories about amazing people and amazing causes. We exist to help them share those stories more widely and inspire a world of positivity and optimism.
Charity Film Awards is the biggest cause-based film competition in the world, and across that period about 1,800 charities have entered their films, and over 300,000 members of the public have voted for their favourite film, and we've driven hundreds of millions of additional views of those films. The principle is very simple, it's a campaign, not an event. Simply by entering the awards, the charity now has a reason to ask its supporters to engage and do a thing that most charities don't typically do, which is not to ask for money, but to ask for the emotional support of watching the film and voting.
There was a little girl on my first ever one, and I took my mum as because you can bring a helper too, and my mum works in a nursery, so she loves kids too, and so I said, come and help me, it's my first go. And so mum sat in the back with one of the carers, and we had two other children, and one little girl was blind, and she was just, she made me cry just because she was just so independent and just got on with it, you know. It really touched my heart, and she made up a song as well, and it was ABBA, I Believe in Angels, but she changed the word to I Believe in Taxi Drivers. So she's really sweet, very sweet little girl.
It's a funny feeling that you get when you do it. So I don't know if I spoke to you before, so I got gripped on my second journey. And my second journey, I had a young girl, she was only 9, and she was in a pushchair still, and her mum had to feed her through a bottle, you know, she was all in that. But when we got to Southend, there was one of those little rides, and the girl come round and she was smiling. And then I am there, I'm going, no, it's all right, it's just the wind and the sun. Might be tears out of the
I mean,
eyes.
there is some tears, and they are tears in the good sense, isn't they? They're tears of joy.
Do you know, it's the feel-good factor. Like, when me and Mum came back from Southend that night, we couldn't even speak. And just that whole thing of being, like, going to bed tired because you've had a great day, do you know, and you've done lots of lovely things, and it was just a great experience. And like I said, to meet these children, it kind of puts a big perspective on your own life and your own sort of what you find troubles, and then you meet a little girl that can't see, and she just gets on with life. And I remember she actually said to me, like, I think she sensed that I was getting a bit choked up, because she held my hand on the way to Peter Pan Land, or whatever it's called, the Adventure World in Southend, and she said, it's okay, Claire, I don't mind being blind. No, she said, it's just how I am.
Well, Claire and her team have chosen their outfits, and they are ready for the awards ceremony happening here in London on the 20th of March.